All right, let's get right into it. For the longest time, the story of retinitis pigmentosa, it was pretty grim, a story of inevitable decline. But that story, it's being completely torn up and rewritten right now, thanks to some incredible science. Today, we're going to look at how we're shifting from just managing this disease to maybe, just maybe, conquering it. This is a huge question, right? It's the kind of thing that keeps researchers up at night. And for millions of people with inherited blindness, this isn't just a question. It's everything. It's hope. And for so long, it really did feel like it was just science fiction.
But things are changing. For retinitis pigmentosa, or RP as we'll call it, this is no longer just a hypothetical. We're going to unpack this new reality because that whole idea of incurable, well, it's finally being challenged, big time.
So let's be clear about what we're dealing with here. RP isn't just one single thing. Nope. It's more like a giant, complicated family of diseases. We're talking mutations in over 270 different genes, so you can see why finding a single magic bullet cure has been, basically impossible. It usually starts with night blindness, as the rod cells go, and then it moves on to the cone cells, which affects your central high-definition color vision.
And that's where the strategy completely shifts. Instead of that one magic bullet, scientists are now thinking much smarter. They've developed this multi-stage approach. I love this analogy. Think of it like a relay race. Each treatment is a different runner, perfectly trained for a specific leg of the race. They pass the baton from one to the next as the disease progresses. So let's talk about that first runner, the first leg of the race. This is all about early intervention. We're talking about patients where a lot of those light-sensing cells are still hanging in there, still healthy. The goal is simple, but it's huge. Preservation. Just stop the bleeding. Keep what you've got and stop the damage from spreading.
And for this first leg, there are two main game plans. First up, you've got gene therapy. This is like molecular surgery. It's incredibly precise, going right to the genetic root of the problem to fix the faulty code. Then you have what are called small molecule drugs. Think of these as environmental protection for your eye. Their job is to create a healthier, safer neighborhood for the cells by reducing all that nasty stress and inflammation.
And the progress in gene therapy is honestly mind-blowing, especially for a particularly nasty form of RP called XLRP. There's a therapy called laru-zova that's already in late-stage trials, which is huge. Another one, AGTC 501, showed that half the patients still had improved vision 2 full years after treatment. 2 years. That's lasting change. And the FDA is all over this, fast-tracking these treatments, which basically tells you how big of a deal this is. But listen, it's not all about super high-tech, expensive gene editing. Take a look at this number, 485. That's how many people are in a global trial for a simple, affordable antioxidant pill called NAC. That's a huge study, and if it works, this could be a massive game changer, giving patients everywhere access to that environmental protection we were talking about. Okay, so the first runner has done their job, but now it's time to pass the baton. What about patients who are further along, who've already lost a lot of cells? Well, protection just isn't going to cut it anymore. So for the second leg of our relay race, the mission changes completely. It's not about saving anymore, it's about rebuilding. Yeah, this really says it all, doesn't it? We're not trying to fix the old, broken down cells. We're talking about bringing in a whole new construction crew, transplanting brand new cells to literally rebuild the damaged parts of the retina. Welcome to the world of cell therapy. So how on earth do they do this? It sounds like something out of a movie. They can take a tiny sample of a patient's own skin cells and then, get this, they reprogram them, basically turning back their biological clock until they become these super powerful stem cells. From there, in the lab, they guide these stem cells to become healthy new photoreceptors. And then they transplant these biological patches right into the retina to fill in the gaps. And this isn't just theory, it's happening now. A therapy called OPCT001 is already getting special designation from the FDA. Now, here's the absolute best part. It's mutation independent. That means it doesn't matter which one of those 270+ genes is the culprit. This could work for almost anyone with RP. Oh, and they found a cool bonus effect. The new cells also leak out these protective proteins that basically nourish the cells that are still left. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal. All right, we're heading into the home stretch, the final leg of the race. This is for the patients with the most advanced disease, where almost all of those original light-sensing cells are gone. And this, my friends, is where science just gets ridiculously clever. It's a field called optogenetics.
And the core idea is kind of a brilliant hack. If the original photoreceptors are gone and you can't replace them, why not just create new ones out of what's left? The technique uses gene therapy to hijack other cells in the retina, cells that are still there but normally have nothing to do with seeing. It gives them a new tool, a light-sensitive protein, and turns them into a brand new backup set of photoreceptors. It's a biological workaround of the highest order.
There was one big problem, though. The early versions of this, they just weren't very sensitive to light. So patients had to wear these big, clunky goggles that would blast light into their eyes just to get the system to work. I mean, it's cool science, but not exactly something you can wear to the grocery store.
But that was then. The big breakthrough, happening right now, is a new generation of these proteins. They are so sensitive, they work in just normal, everyday ambient light. No goggles, no special equipment, and that is the moment this goes from a fascinating experiment to a real, practical, life-changing therapy. And you want to know how excited the experts are? Check out this number, 20. 20 days. That's how long it took for one of these new optogenetics therapies to get approved for clinical trials by the FDA. 20 days. For anyone who follows this stuff, that is just unheard of. It shows you just how much promise this technology holds.
So, let's zoom back out. Let's bring it all home. It's so clear that this isn't about one single therapy being the winner. The real victory is that we're building a whole toolkit. It's a team effort, with a different tool ready to go for every single stage of the disease. And here's that toolkit laid out. Early on, you've got gene therapy and small molecules playing defense, saving the cells you have. As things progress, cell therapy comes off the bench to play offense, replacing what's been lost. And for the final buzzer beater shot, optogenetics comes in to create a whole new way to see. It is a complete top-to-bottom battle plan.
And believe me, it doesn't stop here. Looking ahead, we're going to see AI come into play, helping doctors pinpoint the absolute perfect moment to use each therapy for each person. We're going to move from treating one eye to treating both, bringing back full stereoscopic vision. And we'll see doctors start mixing and matching these therapies, using them together to get even more powerful results. Look, if there is one single thing you take away from all this, let it be this. The very definition of retinitis pigmentosa is changing before our eyes. What for generations was an incurable, one-way street is now becoming a manageable, treatable chronic condition. That is a paradigm shift of epic proportions.
This is truly a new era. The word incurable is starting to sound, well, outdated. The question isn't if we can treat this anymore. The real question is just when. For the first time, the finish line of that relay race feels like it's actually in sight.